everyone, so I am Glenn Susan and today I will be discussing the lesson 2 which is entitled Fish Preservation Principles and Agents of Spoilage. So together with my co-reporter Ms. Talabok, since lesson 1 has already been tackled or has been already reported by my co-reporters which are Ophalia and Miss Romulo. So ang ilaan po kay ang lesson 1. So again, our topic is all about fish preservation principles and agents of spoilage. Okay, so first is atong mahibaw-an ang principles of fish preservation. So naa po day mga principles of how to preserve fish. Okay, so now ang pinakauna is of course is prevent or delay microbial decomposition of fish. So atong makita, di ba? Diha is ato ang pugngan or para ma-delay ang microbial decomposition of fish. Okay, so nag-research ko and naay mga ways para mas madugay or para ang decomposition sa fish is ma-delay. So una is by hindering the growth and activity of microorganisms. So paano ba mahihinder ang growth and activity of microorganisms? So of course, mo na siya ang katong mga methods on how to preserve food, pero kani siya is pwede po siya ma-apply sa lain, pero pwede po siya sa fish. So of course, para ma-hinder ang microbial decomposition of fish, kinahanglan nato ang low temperature or kanang chilling, super chilling, or freezing. For example, di ba? If mopalit kag isda and then pagkahuman kay ibutang sa freezer aron dili madubok, di ba? Kay pag ibutang pa na nimo bisag asa dili nimo na idiretso sa freezer, then madubok na siya. So mo na siya ang pinakauna nga way para dili madubok or para mas ma-delay ang microbial decomposition sa fish. And then another period is drying and dehydration, then cold smoking and other curing methods. So dili na siya bago sa ato no, since na discuss na ni atong last which is katong how to preserve unsa ang pag-preserve sa mga food. So there's a fish para ma-delay ang microbial decomposition. So kuan sad pwede ra pud kayo to ma-apply tong mga methods which is drying, and then freezing. So mo nang pinakauna by hindering the growth and activity of microorganisms. So next is by killing the microorganisms. So paano ba natin makikill ang mga microorganisms? So just like atong sa pinakauna ra pod, mao po siya ang method on how to preserve food, pero kani applicable maghapon siya sa fish, di ba? So by killing the microorganisms, so of course musulod na po diri ang canning, di ba? Like i-process sila para canning, para ng canned goods, di ba? And then next is hot smoking or pasuhan. So mo na pinakauna, prevent or delay microbial decomposition of fish, so by hindering the growth and activity of microorganisms and by killing the microorganisms. So now let's go to the next. Okay, so number 2, to prevent or delay self-decomposition. So paunsa ba para ma-prevent ang self-decomposition sa fish? Of course, removal of digestive systems of fish by dressing. Of course, di ba, ning palit kitag isda ato dyan ang limpyuhan, di ba? Limpyuhan gid na siya kay dili na nimo limpyuhan niya, pasagdaan na nimo. Of course, ang decomposition is dali ra kayo. So next is destruction or inactivation of fish enzyme. So like for example, blanching, heat treatment, dayon kana mo na siya i-blanch ang isda. Like for example, pwede man pod nga actually nakita na nako ni siya somewhere sa YouTube, although gipakita nako para try na kong ibutang dire nga video, but then dili na nako siya makitaan. So i-blanch nimo ang isda, for example imong pakuluan, then after that ibutang nimo sa freezer para ma-preserve. And then next is mo na to siya, no, destruction of or inactivation of fish enzymes. So number 3 is prevention or delay of purely chemical reaction. So by preventing or the prevention of oxidation by antioxidants. So parehara to, smoking, anaerobic, and then condition. So para ma-prevent ang self-decomposition. So although pare-pareho siya sa number 1, but then diri lang sa number 2, to prevent or delay self-decomposition is kinahanglan na to i-clean ang fish. Okay? So now number 3. So, number 3, to prevent other causes of spoilage of fish like physical damage. So, baon sa ba para ang physical na po niya ang ma-prevent nga ma-damage. So, una, by lowering temperature. So, when we say lowering temperature, of course, freezing gihapon eh. So, next is by reducing or hindering contact of air through packaging, brining, or glazing. So, di ba sa butapon naman na. And next, by using chemicals or antioxidants. So, pareha ng sa kaning, di ba? Diha mag-use man ng chemicals para mas preserve ang fish. Okay? So, now, let us move on to changes in fish after death. So, ang pag-change sa fish after death or after gikuha na siya gikan sa dagat, di ba? Of course. So, number 1, changes in appearance. Although kaning nasa picture, yung makita sa picture, makita na siya, it's a death of a fish, right? Of course, nawala na yung mata. Pero moingon tag fish nga gikan din sa dagat. For example, is that manamang wala na sila maginhawa, dayon. Although tanaw na to sila fresh, pero wala na sila live. So, ang giingon diri, the color starts to fade until becomes dull as spoilage progresses. So, diba? The color starts to fade kay mag-decompose naman siya. And then, mas spoil na siya or basta ka mag-decompose na siya, of course. So, the color starts to fade. So, mo na siya, changes in appearance. So, number two is to a rigor mortis. So, it is characterized by the stiffening of the muscle tissue. So, mo na siya ang rigor mortis. Although, nag-research ako to widen or para mas makabalo taon sa ng rigor mortis, but then ang migawas na po sa Google Chrome is that rigor mortis is the stiffening of the muscle tissue. So, this state lasts only for a few minutes in some fish to several hours in others. So, the fish in this state is considered fresh. So, di ba, kay malamang mamatay na ng isda na, inigikan siya sa dagat. Of course, kay sa dagat na siya mabuhi. Di ba? So, the stiffening of the muscle tissue. Di ba? For example, makita niyo sa picture, di ba? Makita niyo If makita ninyo sa picture, di ba? Fresh kayo ng isda. So, diha, na-happen na or nahitabo na ang stiffening of the muscle somewhere sa iyaang body. So, sahay mo na siyang makita nato sa mga market, di ba? This state lasts only for a few minutes. So, in some fresh fish to several hours in others. So, ang uban, minutes lang siya mag-last sa fish, but then ang uban is hours. So, the fish in this state is considered as fresh. So, just like makita ninyo sa picture. So, next is the autolysis. So, autolysis is the breakdown of tissues caused by the enzyme. Since it softens the tissue, it proves the activity of microorganisms. So, of course, just like makita ninyo sa picture, di ba? The tissues caused by the enzymes. The breakdown of the tissues caused by the enzyme. So, nag-research po ko sa autolysis, but then ma-argue po na siya. It is the breakdown of tissues caused by the enzyme. Since it softens the tissue, it proves the activity of microorganisms. And then, we are now down to our last, which is putrefaction. So, putrefaction is the state when the components of the flesh are assimilable forms. It is accompanied by a foul odor, which is the result of the breakdown of protein. The fish at this stage is spoiled and undesirable. So, just like wadto ta sa dagat, of course, di ba natin makita nga, for example, na ay fish diha nga namatay, and then, kita na to nga, yung lawas is, ay yung skin, nag-separate na gikan sa yung stomach, and then, na siya something, dili na pleasant ang iyang odor, di ba? And then the result of the breakdown of the protein. So, mo siya mga changes sa mga appearance. So, number 4 is the putrefaction, which is murag padulong na siya sa malata, or the fish at this stage is spoiled and undesirable. So, dili na siya pwede makawin. So, mao na siya ang putrefaction. So, the changes in fish after death, number 1, of course, changes in appearance. Kaya mag-change ang ginang appearance. And then number 2, rigor mortis, or the stiffening of the muscle tissue of the fish. And then number 3 is the autolysis, which is the breakdown of tissues caused by the enzyme. And then lastly, putrefaction, which is makonigid, yan naging lawas ang totally mabungkaw, the breakdown of the protein. So, mao lang to. And then, my co-reporter, which is Mr. Labok, will continue this topic. So I hope you learn and yeah.